Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Carlos Rosario with Blueprint Home Inspection.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to the show,
Yeah,
Carlos.
thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
home inspections in today's world, actually, in today's world where we've got a lot of dampness and stuff going on outside,
Yeah.
you know, someone's thinking of selling or is in the process of buying a house, you know, moisture becomes a big issue, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does, and it kind of creeps up on you.
Yeah.
You kind of don't think about it in the summertime, and weather's nice, but definitely in the rainy months, it could become problematic for your house.
You know, people don't think about moisture and what it does. I mean, you like I was saying before we went on camera, you buy this wonderful home, you live in it for maybe 10 years or something, and it's time to move on. Maybe your kids have grown up and left, and you're getting ready to list the house, and you know that pipe that broke a couple of years ago, and we got the pipe fixed, and never gave it another thought, right? Yeah. Now that we're going to list the house, that can come back and haunt me, can't it?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that come about when you're living in a house for a certain period of time, and there's things that are overlooked and maybe some maintenance issues that you never thought about. And so when you go to sell your house, the potential buyer is going to hire me, and I'm going to go in that house and I'm going to find those things. And those things could be, plumbing leaks or, electrical issues or whatever.
Or
and
mold issues.
Yeah, mold is out there too as well.
So, you just made me think. If I'm thinking about selling my house, it might not be a bad idea to get a hold of you before I list it.
Definitely, because what's going to happen is I'm going to catch some of those items that the buyer's inspector is going to look at, and it could potentially save you time and money, getting those
even
things
the sale
repaired.
of the house.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a huge negotiating factor when it comes to those items.
We're locked in, and escrow's moving forward, and all of a sudden the inspector comes in, and we've got some issues, and now then the buyer goes, aha. We got 15 days left on escrow, and I got some issues from my inspector, and
they get a little scared. They get a little cold feet.
They
start to shy away from the house. They think that when they walk in the first time, oh wow, it's great, and my job is to go in there and look and find some of those things that they don't initially see. So it does get a little, walking on eggshells for a minute.
You make good insurance for a seller, though, don't you?
Yes, for a seller, for sure. A lot of times they don't get them, but when the buyer comes in and their inspector comes in and finds some things, you're not going to be happy with some of the things that they find, probably.
Okay, Carlos, run me through a typical inspection. How does that play
So
out?
in typical inspection, usually the buyer or your real estate agent or your seller's agent, whatever, will contact me, and we'll schedule it, and then I'll go out that day. Usually I recommend that they be there for the inspection, but if they can't, that's okay too. So I start, top to bottom, just like how we talked about earlier, from top to the bottom. I get up on the roof, I'm checking the roof tiles, shingles, the underlayment.
Looking for leaks, animal damage.
Yeah.
People don't think about, squirrel, birds even come.
Oh, yeah. They like to eat the piping that's on the top of your roof there.
And a little leak happens, and maybe you don't notice it in the house and stuff, but if you stop and look, maybe the fascia board's a little kind of weathered looking, but it may be hiding something more significant.
Because I mean, ask yourself, when's the last time you've been in your attic?
Yeah.
Probably not for a long time.
Probably not,
And so when's the last time you've been on top of your roof? Long time. So it's my job to go up there and kind of look for those things that could become problematic later on for the buyer.
And, okay, from the roof we come down into the structure itself.
Right.
What are we looking at in the actual inside of the house?
So, aside from the attic, the insulation, ducting, stuff like that, we're inside the house, we're checking the HVAC unit, the heater, the cooler, the water heater. We're checking your electrical panel, making sure there's no, I know there's some homeowners out there that like to do their
creative
own
wiring.
Yes, they like to do their own kind of thing there.
Yeah.
So it's my job to find those things and make sure that it's safe for you to buy.
And if you happen to have a foundation instead of a slab,
So if it has a crawl space, you're on subfloor. I go in the subfloor.
Yeah.
Let's go in there and see what the framing looks like and your foundation, your concrete, and kind of give you the news on.
What about slabs? Most people don't think about slabs, having much. I mean, it's just a big sheet of concrete. Sometimes there's some pipes in them or underneath them that comes through. You check those out too?
Well, I mean, A home inspection is a visual inspection for
Okay.
the most part. So obviously the concrete slab, it's built underneath the house, so we're not able to visually see it.
Right.
But there are some things that we can
Signs
point
that you
out, that we
look
can
for,
sign
right?
out. Yeah, so moisture, those types of things, foundation, settling, whatever there might be in the
What about
foundation
those
related.
little critters that crawl underneath the slabs and stuff? Like gophers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a few of those
Yeah.
that I've seen. I'll kind of point those out.
Yeah.
They technically don't do anything for the structure of the house, but I will let you know about them.
Yeah, that's important for Listen, a buyer comes in and they see something and they go, well, that's it. It's a deal killer.
Yeah,
Now that may not have been the real deal killer, but if it's something they can use.
yeah,
So all these things that you find and you point out to your clients, become critical for the buyer or the seller. But
Right.
I'm thinking mainly like from a seller's point of view.
Yeah.
Having all my ducks in order in a row and stuff, and so that when one of the things with sellers and this is from a real estate point of view, most sellers are very impressed with their house.
Yes.
And the price they put on it.
Yes.
And so, we know that they want to get the best price that they can get for that castle
Yes.
that they have on the market.
Yes, they're very prideful.
Yeah, you betcha. So, taking the time ahead of time and having a home inspector come out is really just it's a great insurance policy.
It is. I mean, you think about it. I mean, you have an attic or a crawl space or whatever. Say you have a plumbing leak, and you don't notice it right away.
Right.
And so the buyer gets their inspection. They come in, and their inspector notices it. That's something that's negotiable. So they mess around with you, try to get you to pay for it, or try to give you a credit towards the sale or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you were to find that before they came, you could get it repaired for cheap, and then that would be not even negotiable in the price, and you
Absolutely.
can get more for your home.
And that's an excellent point. Well, good deal.
Yeah.
All right, now we've had the inspection stuff. What happens after that?
So after the inspection, I usually do a walkthrough with my clients.
Uh-huh.
We'll walk the perimeter of the house. Inside, we'll kind of talk about some of the findings that we found. And then usually by the next day, I'll generate a report for them. It'll be a digital report. It'll have pictures, some wording. It'll have a couple links. I send it in HTML format, so it's like a website. They can click on pictures and they'll expand. And then I also send it in PDF format too as well. People like to print it,
So they can print it out,
so
yeah.
they can have it, send it to people, email it, and then it helps the process, just go faster because it gets the report out to whatever parties need to view it.
You're one of those guys that's very key to the whole escrow process.
Yeah.
That most people don't think about agents do, but buyers and sellers, buyer walks in the house and, oh, this is beautiful. I just really want this. And, maybe they really don't once you peel back the layers.
Yeah, so, it's not my job to be a deal breaker and, make the house look worse than what it is. A lot of the items I find, they're general maintenance items.
Right.
There are things that can be repaired. There are things that can be fixed. So in the walkthrough, I kind of relay that message and let them know that, you might have this issue, but it's fixable, it's repairable, it's not the end of the world. So that's kind of like, a thing that we have to relate to our clients, so that way they're not scared.
But on the other hand, it may be something that, we don't see too much on the surface, but, it's...
Yeah, and it works the other way, too, for the buyer. I come in, you love the house, and it's great, new paint, new appliances, whatever, and, the house is crumbling on the corner, or, it's got multiple plumbing leaks, or, the AC is shot or whatever. And those are things you don't notice right away, and so that would be your chance to be like, you know what, I'm not interested in this house. I'm not interested in dropping $20,000 into the house or $15,000 or whatever it's going to cost.
Not after I just paid for it.
Yeah, let's move on to another property and get something more.
You're kind of a hero of sorts.
Yeah. I mean, the other day I got a message the other day from a client that I had, and they just thanked me. They were like, "Thank you. We appreciate it. You found some things that we never would have known, and we're still going to go through with the house, but that's negotiable in our favor."
Well, there you go. All right, Carlos Rosario, that is Blueprint Home Inspections. You're buying or selling, either way, be a good person to get a hold of and talk to. Could save you a lot of money on either end of the deal. Carlos, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care. We'll see you. And I'll see you when we come back.